Hello friends and welcome back to the channel for war number 10 of season 53, and today we have a matchup against XK9. We've lost 3 in a row. The idea of finishing Masters this season is probably over, so we're just trying to finish the season strong here. Void on the team today along with Viv and Omega Red for a 10% increase in Void's intimidating presence damage. Let's jump right in. Starting off today on path number 1, we have Thing here on node 1. We've taken this fight many times, Thing with Void many times on this node and other various nodes with regen. 37 up on 1B also as well. The thing that I talk about every time I do this fight with Void is the magic number. Magic number here is 13. Both of Void's special attacks have 2 hits to them, so if you want to chain a combo into your special attack, you need to throw the special when he has 13 rock stacks, and then you'll be good to go here. So we have done that here. He clears them with his special attack. We got super lucky with a couple of Petrifies up. He cannot have his healing reversed, of course, because of Indomitable. So we can basically play this fight more or less like a duel. The healing is going to be shut off for the rest of the fight here. I think we ended up shortening our combo there in order to throw the special at 13 stacks. And then I remember at some point in this fight, I feel like I have to spend a little bit longer baiting out a special from him. Maybe I'm misremembering this. Baiting out that second medium right there, and then a full combo to again push him to 15 stacks, baiting the special 2 to have him clear them, and the fight is pretty much over at this point. Really, really clean fight for me. And honestly, for as many times as I've taken this fight with Void, I hoped it would be this clean. The SIG on this thing, by the way, pretty high for a 7-star. You don't see many high SIG things yet. I think this one was north of 100, so pretty high SIG for a 7-star thing. All right, moving on, we have a Mr. Sinister here on node number 10. This is a rank 3 duped Mr. Sinister, so somebody used their Awakening Gem. Going to go in here with Viv. We have turned Resonate off for this fight to avoid triggering Vigorous Assault and Masochism. And we're just going to go in with normal Viv style, keep the heal block up with our second medium. And again, I've talked about this in previous wars. Since Viv is a robot, she will not take the degen from allowing him to throw consecutive special ones here. Even though he is a 7R3, we do have class advantage here, and I was comfortable not doing the special 3. I got a lot of comments on a couple other videos this season about just not really needing the special 3 rotation, and I figured if I was going to try it, it was going to be a path fight with class advantage, and here we are. So yeah, we build up to the special 1 here, bait out that special 1, do a shortened combo here. Actually, that was a full combo after all. Throw these special 1s, and it's doing a buttload of damage. We don't even need the third special 1, and that is a super clean Viv Vision fight. 0 damage. Alright, moving up to section 2, we are also going to be on path number 1. We have a Kindred here on node 19 with Never Back Down. I'm going to be taking this with Void. I think we did this same exact fight, maybe last war or the war before. Strategy here, exactly the same. Bait out whatever special you want, whatever special he's willing to throw. And make sure that you punish it, of course, to get the pause on those infestation charges. Obviously, the special 2 is way easier to punish, and you don't have to deal with any of the block damage. So, you know, but whatever works here. I'm comfortable with either of them. And then the other thing to remember, of course, is to save a bar of power when you're starting to get him down close to that point where he's going to root you. And if I recall, the SIG on this Kindred was not that high, so the root was going to be like 2.8 seconds only, so pretty low compared to max SIG. So, and Void's health pool, very sizable, of course, so even if we don't get the special off right away, there's almost no chance that we're going to die from degen if we're close to him for 2.83 seconds, so not really worried about that. It's just a matter of conserving a few health potions here. So there we go. We did end up taking roughly 10% or so in damage, not a problem. Alright, healed up and moving on to node 28. We have an Onslaught here with Buffet over time and Arc Overload. Going to be using Void here as well, using an APB just to get an early debuff off. If we get a Petrify up first, that's great. If not, not a huge deal, but we do want one of those up soon. Throwing it at 10 hits to eliminate the Crush Charge, and we did get lucky with 2 Petrifies up first. That's the second time this war that we got lucky with the Petrifies, so really happy about that. So now Buffet and Arc Overload, both completely pointless, and this more or less becomes like a glorified Battlegrounds fight. Now, one thing that I decided not to do in this fight was go for the special 1 punish, which, if you've been watching this so far, you've seen that I actually did switch to 60 frames per second for this war, which is something that I wasn't sure I was going to do, but I decided to kind of chance it and just see how it felt. And in my duels, in my Battlegrounds fights that I've been doing against Onslaught, I have been really comfortable doing the Special 1 Punish with a variety of champions, including Void. However, I didn't necessarily want to chance it in a war setting until I was 100% sure that I could nail it with him every time. So you're going to see me not attempt to do the Punish here. And such, as such, I'm comfortable kind of playing it slow here. That's how I've normally been playing against Onslaughts in the past. But having that Special 1 Punish kind of in my skill set, I think is going to be super useful from here on out. And 60 frames per second, definitely making it a lot easier. And down Onslaught goes. Really, really easy fight. All right, moving up to the first boss island, we have a Photon here on node 37. Haven't taken this fight, I don't think, since last season. And that one, we took a ton of block damage. I'm not really sure I played it right. Probably could have played it better here. In this one, I distinctly recall getting backed up really quickly against Photon, which isn't like a huge deal because we can just continue to deal damage to her via our debuffs. And in a normal setting where this specific tactic isn't live, we would be able to just stay close to her, have her trigger more regens, and then once her healing is reversed, she would just melt. However, in this specific tactic, the heal block actually works against Void in this and other fights because it's going to prevent the heal reversal from triggering here. So right here, we stick her into Pure Light form, and she's got a special attack, but we're cornered. And I think, actually, she spends the entire Pure Light form trying to heavy us in the corner instead of, hitting our block and dealing us a bunch of chip damage or firing her Special 1. I don't think she ever bothers to fire her Special 1 here. And there you go. Pure Light form is over. I make the strategic choice here to go ahead, push her to the Special 2 because I'm comfortable dexing that, even though the visual effects have been missing for what feels like 6 months now, maybe. It probably hasn't been that long, but who knows. And now from here, we've kind of backed ourselves out of the corner, and we're ready to go here. Baiting out this Special 1. She doesn't have enough charges for a second round of Pure Light, and I think we try and get her to throw one more Special 1, and then if we can knock her down with our Special 1 before she gets to that next bar of power, we'll be all set here. As you can see, it's not even going to matter because she's just ticking down so quickly from all of our debuffs, and down we go. Pretty clean fight. Can still be better, but overall, happy with that one. Alright, sixth and final fight of the war for me is a Mangog on node 44 with Hazard Shift and Stun Immunity. I think I also get backed up into the corner in this fight as well. And then we end up taking a few poison debuffs near the end, but overall, this is a fine fight. You really only have to play around the poison in the Hazard Shift, of course. I think what happens here is that I mismanage my power level for when he is going to trigger that enraged mode, and then he ends up being unstoppable, and I don't have a special available to kind of sidestep into, and thus I have to kind of just sit there and bait out heavies and take blocked hits in the corner until his hatred wears out and that enraged mode turns off. I think also I might accidentally launch a special into his block, trying to get rid of that enrage, so we'll see what happens here. It's been a couple days here since I did this fight, so I remember like bits and pieces here, but not everything. Obviously, we want to stick to the Special 1 because punishing it is going to pause the tactic here. You can see we are in the corner. Next Special 1 is going to get the enraged here. There we go. So he launches the special. It's unblockable. I mistime it, and then I accidentally throw my special into his block, thinking he's going to dash at me. And now we basically just have to wait here until that entire mode runs out. There's only a few seconds left, so it's not that big of a deal. And now we want to ideally get ourselves out of the corner here. We are healing up quite a bit here from the stagger, so no worries there. We fire off a Special 1, and I think at some point he does eventually back off. We don't have to bait a Special 2 in this fight, but he's like just super aggressive, you know? Taking this Special 1 mostly on the block, punishing it to pause the charges, and the fight is at this point over. So we did take a few poisons there, as you can see, but it's the end of the fight and the end of the war anyways, so no worries. Alright, unfortunately, we once again could not pull off a win. We have now lost 4 in a row, and what was a very good start to the season has now dropped into one of our worst records in recent memory at this point in the season. 4-5, definitely not where we want to be. We got 2 wars left. No idea where we're going to end up finishing. with the canceled war and how they're working the points and stuff. But we Masters is out of the question here. So pretty much Platinum 1 is our ceiling at this point. So we'll see what happens the rest of the way. Hopefully we get maybe some non-Master Alliance matchups. I don't know that there's anybody else who's going to be left around us in the leaderboard. So more than likely we're going to be matched up with somebody like in proximity to us in the leaderboard rather than proximity plus war rating. But we'll see what happens. All right, folks, if you enjoyed this, please let me know. And as always, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again next time.